Hyde's Mouth Red Songbird. I want to get right to it. I recommend an audio. Behold, the lying pen of the scribes. And this is at the Replacing Era channel. Okay. I'll give you the scriptures he quoted that I wrote down. Jeremiah chapter 8, verse 7. Matthew chapter 7, verses 22, 21, 23. Jeremiah chapter 8, verse 6, verse 8. Romans chapter 1, verse 22. Job chapter 5, verse 12. Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 22. My people are fools. Thessalonians, that's not spelled correctly. Chapter 2, verses 8, 9, 10. 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verses 3. And chapter 3, verse 3. St. Matthew chapter 19, verse 14. St. John chapter 15, verse 5. St. Matthew, verse 23. Chapter 23, verse 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Probably 9 and 10, 11, 14, 15. It is not by your works ye are saved. It is not how much we know, it's how much we love that matters in the house of the Lord. The house is the body. The Lord of the soul is what they're talking about. You have many impressions and grooves of past lives you've lived, but who is the Lord of all those characters? That's what you need to find out. Let's see what else. What's up here? The house is a body, yes. Person who has a pen is a scribe. It's a Hebrew word. It can affect runes, but not spirit. Rune, sigil. They made up this word. It's a funny name for God. The Hebrews made it up. Matthew 23, 25, Matthew 23, 26, Matthew chapter 23, verse 27. A scribe is someone under the hex, under the spell of something. I didn't get that. I suggest you check this video out so you can get the details. I'm giving you highlights, but it's very important to get the details. This is about how this speaker gave up religion, because here it's coming out that religion is a farce. Okay. The scribe uses grammar to put people in a hex. Barack Obama used grammar to charm, to put listeners under his spell using grammar. That's all he was, talk. He didn't do one thing that was good for the American people. When I used to see Barack Obama, I knew intuitively that he was trying to put me under a spell. And I would talk throughout his entire television address. You're lying. That's not true. You know, to keep him being put under his spell. Okay. Let's see. Grammar, which leads to glamour, which leads to fascination or the charm of magic, or the witchery, a spell. Glamour puts you under a spell. Glamour is to bewitch, to enchant, to place a hex, a jinx on you. And glamour is an allurement, using sex, using voluptuous beauty. That's what people sell their products with sex. Sex sells, but that's immoral. It's a trick. Okay, glamour. Lipstick, makeup, rouge, blush, mascara, eyeliner, eyeshadow. Introduced to the culture by prostitutes. There was no love to attract the man, so they introduced to the culture. They put the man under her spell with glamour, a made-up face. Hollywood also popularized putting men under spells with the starlets, being all made up glamorously. Western women have put Western men under their spells. Okay, now, a degree is a diploma. You graduate. You are now a gatekeeper of that branch of knowledge. You have just been indoctrinated. Degree, diploma, a key to a degree of knowledge. I learned psychology, psychoanalysis, through trial and effort and error. Living in the moment, which is heaven. Living in the moment is heaven. And talk and share. By experimenting, I learned talk and share by experimenting, not by reading somebody's book, and not by being indoctrinated. Talk and share is natural therapy, which leads a person to being able to be him or herself. Not a simulation of herself, but actually herself. True. A true person. In this simulation we're living in now, an American woman with a high school diploma. I don't have one. I got my GED. The college I graduated from gave me the... So what I was going to say here, the person with the high school diploma is indoctrinated. Okay. I graduated from... College I graduated from gave me lots of credit, which is Empire State College, a college for adults. Gave me lots of credit toward my degree because of the lyrics I had written for Edwin Birdsong's albums, What It Is and Supernatural. Lyrics that came from my heart, my true self. The sun god said to me, you won me over. You are true. That's right, he did say these things to me. Who was more amazed than I? From the Egyptian mystery schools. This is where this indoctrination, all this book learning came from. Schools which was handed down by the scribes and the Pharisees. God is in the heart. It doesn't matter how many degrees you've got. It doesn't matter how many books you've written. I've written over 20 books on Amazon.com. My latest book I wrote from my heart based on my experiences of being a talk and share therapist for 30 plus years. I wrote the book for my son, Sing Birdsong, when he lost his father. The book is called Talk and Share Method of Overcoming Grief. It's available at Amazon Kindle. And the book I wrote with my daughter, Robin Birdsong, who had been Dr. Seuss, was also... Robin wrote the book. I gave her the title and the characters. But as Dr. Seuss, she wrote the rhymes. Heartfelt, based on experience, called... The book was also heartfelt, based on experience, called Sneezy the Greasy Babysits Abigail, available at Amazon.com. My first public work was written from my heart. That's what my teacher, my husband, Govinda Singh, Jesus Christ, says. Do it from the heart or not at all. And that's how I've always operated. because I wasn't in a position to be sophisticated and trained, although I did used to wear makeup. I learned that in Stewardess College, American Airlines Stewardess College in Fort Worth, Dallas, Texas. My first public work was written from my heart, based on experience. Albums named Edwin Birdsong What It Is and Edwin Birdsong Supernatural. Edwin is supernatural. Since he transitioned, since he died, he has spoken to me several times, apologizing for cheating on me, falling under the spell of groupies who purposely, some of them got themselves pregnant thinking they could have a child with his genes and DNA. And money, as he, Edwin, was the recording artist that I had worked tirelessly to help him become. Edwin, when he contacted me, asked for my help. He wants to return to the physical by entering the womb of our daughter Robin when she marries. At this stage, his debt to me is so huge for being his loyal, productive business partner, Michelle Bird Music, and his loyal, productive, and for being a beyond the call of duty loyal wife. So Edwin needs me to produce a musical, have our daughter Robin write the script, our son sing, who was Richard Rogers, write the music to my lyrics, and I was projection Oscar Hammerstein. Edwin said he needs me to stop being shy and modest and to start taking all the credit due me for the important part I played in his life. Yeah, I paid dearly. Now it's time for me to be paid. Only when I receive my just deserts, recognition, accolades, acknowledgement, awards, and money can Edwin hope to disappear the bad karma he got for mistreating his true family, the family he loved with his whole heart, me, did Michelle Birdsong sing, and Robin. Okay, now, 2 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 1. 2 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 2 and 3. And then Will Rogers is the name of the man who's doing this video. He says, don't put too much stock. See, he was a preacher for 10 years, and then he saw these writings in the Bible, and he gave up religion, Christianity. And now he's a spiritual person. And he says, don't put too much stock on letters written on stone. And then I said gravestones. He said, they are manipulation. The letter will deceive you. Note, God's orders can be, this is from me, God's orders can be followed by being wedded to the present moment. That is reality, the straight and narrow way. Talk and Share can get you there. Keep an eye out for a Talk and Share book for children called The Body Book of Questions. Get out of your, and then Will Rogers says, get out of your flesh, get into your spirit. And then I say, it's in present moment living. Walk in the spirit, he says. You will not and cannot fulfill the lusts of the flesh. The flesh gives light. The flesh gives life. Michelle Birdsong in New York City. You're looking at Adam, whose name is now Michael Bublé, singing to Eve. So long.